Everyone, welcome back to the show. We're coming back on what was a pretty sweeping win for the Russian side, ESPADA, and now that we are in their territory on Dust 2, a map that I personally would never want to play ESPADA on, of course, as it is their map pick. And KOVA, they're looking a little rough for wear right now, especially on their first map showing, which was supposed to be at least favored for them. Mitch, I see the look of disappointment on your face. I want to hear your thoughts here.
I mean, I guess things played out as expected for me. I thought ESPADA would dominate when it came to the attacking side. They did. I thought they'd win the map fairly convincingly and they'd be favorites. They did, but some of the mistakes that were made, it just really hurts to see because it's something that can be fixed so simply, right? It's not that these guys lack the ability to play CS. They're not bad players, but it's just they need more time together. I'm convinced if we see this matchup take place, if ESPADA stayed exactly as they are right now, and KOVA had another 1.5 months, they got a coach in there because I think just looking at the server, they haven't got a coach right now. If they could have that little bit of guidance to help out whoever's IGLing, we could see a much better performance from them. But right now, it's very sloppy. It's very loose. And you can afford to play a loose style if you've got insane fragging power to back that up. But KOVA aren't quite on that level.
Yeah, and I think what's the big talking point too is that Dexter is kind of reigning free right now, right? Peku, who's supposed to be the Finnish opera, isn't really showing himself too much to combat Dexter, who's pretty much popping off freely right now. Not just with the opera, just overall. I mean, he looks pretty untamed, like he's unleashed almost, and that's a big talking point because now we're going into Dust 2, a map that is traditionally, I mean, hell, you can even argue a double op setup on T side's even viable on this map. That's how strong ops are on Dust 2, Mitch. Now we're entering the playground for operas, and one opera is clearly performing better than the other opera right now, of course. It could change in the second map, maybe. But I'm really hoping Peku comes to life here, because if he doesn't, they are really going to struggle against the double op setup here for ESPADA, no doubt.
Oh, 100%. Like for KOVA right now, we need massive step ups. We saw some great rounds coming through from them both yesterday and today. Great performances from Durcaps, from Peku, but they were really missing in that previous map. And ESPADA right now don't seem to have any issues, right? They've got Patsy and Sophic taking a bit of a back step, but they're playing around their team. They're making sure. I think Sophic had an insane amount of flash assists coming into the end of that game. And that's what you need. Once you've got somebody that's going to be happily, I actually only had 2 flash assists, never mind. But he had a lot of enemies flash. That's what matters. Once you've got a team that's playing well, they've got good players that are willing to step back and play the supportive role and allow those fraggers to shine versus a team that's really lacking structure and hasn't got the individual ability to out aim them every duel. That's a situation that when you've got Mirage and Dust 2, that's all it is, right? You don't have insane tactics on Dust 2. You're not going to reinvent the wheel. There's nothing KOVA are going to do that leaves ESPADA going, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like they know how to play this map. There's not that many things you can do, so you've got to rely on playing better as a team and out aiming. Not something that I've seen KOVA do on either account.
Yeah, and here's a fun fact as well to add on top of your point, right? Big Academy, a team that, in my opinion, was one of the more well-structured teams in our league. They got destroyed on Dust 2 by ESPADA, 16-4. I mean, structure or not, right? Like, if you can't win the fights, if you can't take the proper map control, if you don't have the confidence to contest long game when it's time to do it, if you're not dealing with the lurks that ESPADA has, like last time ESPADA played this map, they were running double lurks, Mitch. They had a lurk coming out B tunnels late to flank CT spawn, and they had a guy going out middle to flank CT spawn when they were hitting A. Like, you need to check these things, right? These things are confidence plays. You need to give some sense of worry to ESPADA, right? So they're not splitting up the way in that fashion where it becomes almost unpredictable. But I think we're ready to go. Less talking, Mitch. More action. Mel, let's begin this.
Oh, okay. So immediately we've got a block and spawn. Dima doesn't know what he wants to do. He's spotting cross when they've already crossed. Okay, let's ignore the start of this. 1:45 on the clock. ESPADA moving in towards the B tunnels. They're going down in through middle in just a couple seconds. They're a little bit later than they'd want to be. As you see, Dima on top mid, he's going to start to move in towards long, make sure nobody's pushing through there. They've got one watching for the flank through tunnels. And just a very slow pace. They're looking for anybody on KOVA peeking. KOVA, they're playing 3-2. They've not got anybody mid. Nobody's spotting this. So they've got to rely on the fights going their way. And this is Peku on the site that has to get the frags.
Yeah, mind you, there is really no utility available for ESPADA, so flashbangs are not an option. Probably going to be the run boost here to buy them some space. Sophic goes wide. That's going to distort a little bit of the Peku's cross replacement. And now the fights begin. The cross is happening. Uli and Twixie holding it down so far. Uli finds the second one. Peku is going to throw the flashbang. That's going to hold him back, but he does lose his life in the process. But I think the damage is done. I think KOVA have set themselves up nicely for this 1 versus 4.
Absolutely. Finnegan gets himself one. They're going to push him from different angles. Not a lot he can really do. 1-0 for KOVA, but we saw this before. We saw them do well in the pistol round and then fall down immediately afterwards. So ESPADA need to be able to bounce through here if they want. The problem, difference between this and the previous time is they didn't get a bomb plant. So I was thinking we would see an eco from them and then come into the third round to try and do the damage. But they've actually gone for a force immediately, which again just resonates confidence across the board. They do not respect their opponents right now because they think they can win this with the pistols. Up against rifles and SMGs, they've definitely got a shot, but it ain't going to be easy.
And they're probably fancying the ops, right, for that 4th round instead of the AK buy on the 3rd. Can't blame them. Now, these are TIS Deagles. These are nothing to be messed with. It's going to be a beat based on the mini-map positions. Bomb is still towards upper B. The smokes are out. That's going to allow them space now. And the pressure is on by Tola and Dirtcaps to hold back.
There's the shots by Piatola. He's ready for the players split as well. Even looks to the bomb site, but runs out of ammunition. A 2 versus 2. The CZ going out wide. No bomb plan to be obtained. It was still towards the tunnels. That's disappointing. A 2v2 holding down the B bomb site, that gives you a pretty heavy advantage. But now having to plant the bomb, things are probably going to fall apart. Flashes cover the doors cross. But they're going to push him as soon as they hear this bomb being tapped, I would imagine. Oh, he's going to try to fake it. No, yes, he is. Okay. Here's the steps, pushes through, swap positions, but as they come back out, he's not able to catch anybody off guard. They knew what was going down.
So they do hold on after all, and the force buy is denied. Of course, it's always a little scary once the terrorists have the B site, considering this is by far the lowest % success retakes in the whole map pool, Mitch. But they've averted it. And it's down to Glocks, not a single flash, not a single smoke here for ESPADA. Probably a desperate attempt to just rush either out long, or excuse me, out mid or up short A here. Probably just a Hail Mary, right? Hopefully they can get past the choke point. If they do, maybe bomb plant goes down. And of course, this is just a prayer and a dream.
Just like real life, dreams rarely come true.
Wow.
It's all on Dima. Oh, okay, you got a kill.
Oh.
That's pretty good. Somehow still alive here with 3 players. Okay, he eventually dies. Hey, you guys cool? They hadn't adjusted their sights correctly, I guess. It's okay. They'll have them fixed now. The range finding.
Yeah, I want to get his Glock, because his Glock works much better than my Glock. I'll say that. But here we go. This is what they've been saving for, right? This is the op. This is the full utility, the full rifles, the SG for Finnegan. And now they have everything that they need to make this route work. And the money for KOVA hasn't quite stabilized, right? There's still a potential reset here. So this options are available and plenty. And a jump there from Sophic. A little careless. Not expecting Peku to be aggressive. And maybe KOVA is fighting back here. Maybe the overconfidence from ESPADA will make them careless here. And they just get punished for it over and over until they realize this. Oh, we just lost a huge lead.
Certainly possible, but it's early days still. Good opening pick for KOVA, but they've got to convert it with the round. Now, pushing forward, doesn't check close at the car. This is definitely carelessness from ESPADA. They're Molotov'd off. Smoke goes down, Dirk swings wide and catches them coming through. Very well handled by KOVA. And ESPADA now left with 2 players in the tunnels. They picked up the AWP, 1 minute on the clock, and they'll move towards top mid. T-spawn to try and catch some players off guard. But Twixie is tucked up in the corner. Oh, Peku's found the cross as well. Twixie can swing out to try and help out his teammate. Bomb picked up, movement forward. There's no way he checks left. Oh, man. Hold on, now he might actually check it, if he even goes towards middle. He's crossing over to move towards the B bomb site. Surely Dexter doesn't ace clutch this. There's a player coming through tunnels. This could be expected. At this point, they could have easily pushed into tunnels from the B side and be down towards those lower part.
Yeah, the only problem is he has no luxury of walking for too long, so he can maybe walk up a few steps. If he wins this 1v1 against Dirtcaps, this route is pretty much in his favor, but that's way too many angles inside to clear, unfortunately. And although it was a good attempt, damage has been dealt, and KOVA's economy maintains pretty low, I think. Let me see what they're looking like after the buy here. The op is out. That wasn't recovered, unfortunately. Dude, yeah, they're still, like, really... They're on, like, the edge of that double reset, right? Twixie's the only one that's kind of safe from that. And it is going to be the half buy here for Espada. Pistols and armor. Scout protector. He's already gotten the tag off. That's great. They know one of the B players is wounded now. They could always head in that direction if they so choose.
Patsy pushed out on long by himself, but backs off afterwards. Trying to put a little bit of pressure on them, and you can see he successfully kept 2 players aggressive long. Eventually, Twixie's left to hold it by himself, and Espada looking to hit the A bomb site by the looks of things, moving down middle and in through short for that control. Now, KOVA are playing that very passive. They've got Pekko on the AWP at car, but unlike how the setup normally works, there's nobody on the bomb site itself to help out. They're also conceding long control partially with Twixie playing on the corner. So maybe the... Oh, no, he's going back into pit now. They've realized maybe that's not the best call.
Yeah, they're just juking you, actually. They hear your calls and they're like, no, let's mess with it. Now they have to get past, unfortunately. Pekka in game helper position. What are the shots? Oh, the spacing is not the best. And so far it's not going well. Actually, he's been tagged. That's one deagle shot away from a potential death right here. If they can land it. Oh, one of them. Uh-oh. No, they can't. No, they don't mess with the scout. The deagle combo. Oh, Dexter!
They're pushing forward to get the weapon way too aggressively. Piatola's tagged by the deagle, though. He's 4 HP. The jump shots, it's a brave move. Flash over, not reacting on it, trying to catch him off guard. Finnegan thinks he's coming up the ramp, but he's playing in Goose, playing nice and passive, waiting for Piatola to make a move. He's been spotted now. Piatola moves forward, knows he's behind the bomb site. Just one tag to the body. It's all that's needed by the Deagle, and there it is! They've lost the round. Deagles and a scout. And somehow Espada walk away with that. They ran up short. The spacing was terrible. They were going one at a time. The Op was able to ring the shots out. Missed 2, though, and then they made it to the bomb site. Deleted him. And KOVA, just no respect, tried to rush in to take those pistols down. That's what happens.
Yeah,
they don't respect the CZ go.
Not even the CZ, it's the scout. They didn't respect the scout at all. They just let Dexter tag them left and right. And I mean, he got 2 tags and a kill. Like, you can't ask for much more from him. He made those targets so easy for the Eagles and the CZs. And man, what a robbery this was. That was a double reset. That was supposed to be the round KOVA could have potentially escaped the double eco territory, and they dropped the ball on that one. The worst possible outcome here for KOVA. And now Espada, they've gotten their second win much earlier than they had anticipated. But if they hit this B site, maybe it doesn't end well, considering this is a stack for KOVA. They have 3 players here. Oh no, they're going for the explode upper B? Oh god.
This is dangerous. Consolidates pistols. 1-2, though. Beautiful. Peeking as the flash is going out. They had no idea what was going on. Uli pops a flash up over, trying to catch an angle or 2 and get some kills, but he's just not being offered any opportunities. And just like that, it's a 3 versus 2. The CT side trying to get back in. It's not going to be easy. And with a Krieg and an Op, I want them to save. And it looks like that's the call. Pekko had been getting aggressive, but Twixie calls. He's just going to hold tunnels. And they'll try to carry this through to the next round, presumably successfully. Espada don't really have the money that they'll be hunting.
Yeah, I think this is like a laissez-faire, right? Like, everyone just do your own thing. We need our money, you need your money. Kind of a well-established respect. If anything, I feel like Espada could have maybe hunted a little bit, considering they have some money left over. But nah, it's okay. This is a safe route. I agree with it. The Op and the SG, those are big X factors in this win. And I wouldn't be surprised if I saw them force around it. And they could also just take the safe route as well and just save. Don't buy anything here. Just use what you got. And if you lose, at least you still have a buy round to go. If not, well, we got the round. Espada is aware though, Mitch. They know that there are weapons available here for KOVA. I wonder if they'll take that into account in their game plan here.
Well, for the moment, they're definitely slowing it down. They've got 1 top mid and 1 outside the A long, I should say. But pushing forward here. No trade possible with Twixie landing and opening on the AWP. Now, immediately, Espada react. Look at that. They want nothing to do with that AWP. Knowing the A side should be weaker, those players left outside of A are going to be regrouped on, and Finnegan coming through lower tunnels. It looks like he's going to be alone there. The only player pushing short as they'll seize long control together.
Now they're being heard out long. These cat players, they're definitely getting that information. The flashbang goes out. Peku's in a pretty strong position to combat, especially with the SG. He does need to avoid the op though for Sofig. Look at Finnegan, right? I talked about this. These lurks, they're so patient for Espada. They're willing to just stay sleeping until it's time to wake up.
Oh, Finnegan's close to getting it. That's a shame because now he can't really regroup with his teammates and push through short. Being afraid of that stack up. KOVA fully rotated in. Peku above. He catches a player unaware long. Looks down for more and gets a second. This is huge. Dima, though, he is here and he's hitting everything. The animal. It's into a 2v2, but he's caught crossing. Even inside the smoke with those, one bullet was needed, and Finnegan's head is spotted by Piatola, who saves the round. Puts a 5th on the board for KOVA. Dima has been a player to rely on in those kind of positions, and Strong Legs, I've got one more thing.
Hit me.
Do you like James Bond? Because I think Sopvik does. He's got it in his name.
Oh no. Not an early promotion. That's not what you want. I mean, that is kind of what you want, but not what you want in Counter-Strike.
Not at all.
They went from a single SG to double ops, full utility. Further lead 5-2. I mean, this is drop off and drop off a little bit. It's kind of starting to get a little dicey between both these teams. Now, this is a time out here for Espada. I think at this point they're trying to recollect themselves because whatever they're doing, whatever game plan they were coming into this with, that's not working. Now you got to switch up the formula a little bit, you know, mix it up a little.
Got to keep it fresh. And for KOVA, like the thing here on the CT side, when we come towards the later on buy rounds, this is where Espada maybe start to get a read on how they're playing. You look at how they're winning some of these rounds. Okay, they get a surprise op pick on short. One of the rounds gives them a man advantage. What happened in the previous? Well, they got the surprise op pick over towards B tunnels. Then you've got the player up on top of the bomb site, catches long off guard, sprays down one through the smoke. These are not plays that, again, can consistently come through, and we've seen it on the previous map. KOVA aren't surprising Espada, they're losing. Now, this means it's even more important to keep it fresh, because if KOVA become a little bit predictable, you may guarantee Espada will pick up on that and start to really eat into them. They think they're saving the cross there. Oh, that's a beautiful spam by Uldi. Absolutely gorgeous. He sees the feet go across, sets himself up, sprays it down. Looked like he was going to miss, but he catches both headshots. And another man advantage for KOVA to play with. One thing I love is how they're playing after they find them. Immediately giving up whatever control that they've just traded that kill for and falling back and playing bomb sites.
And this is
really
kind of this is the KOVA that we were kind of hoping for, right, in the first map. This KOVA looks a lot more fundamentally sound. They're just playing their numbers, they're playing to their strengths. Now it's going to be Dirkep looking to peek out. Dexter gets tagged off, but the hit is coming in from multiple directions, but actually only maybe a single direction. Now with Patola finding both kills out here in the middle, denying the split. Something that I said was going to be a key point for KOVA on the defense is don't let Espada get these splits on you. Otherwise, the game gets way too out of control. But they're doing a great job. They haven't even taken a single point of damage. I mean, this is as convincing as it gets, Mitch.
Well, where do you go from this point, really? 25 seconds or so left on the clock. The money isn't great, but you're not going to want to commit your op for no reason, so saving that seems like it's an essential piece. You also do want to find kills at the same time. KOVA have been constantly on the knife's edge. They've almost been on an eco if they lose one round, but now they survive with all 5 players. Huge advantage to play with. Just look at that bank row. It's popping up. Espada now. The change of pace from this to the previous map is insane. And what we were saying then was when you move from Mirage to Dust 2, you imagine that performance is going to be fairly portable. And if you don't do well on Mirage, it's unlikely that everything magically gets better. My God.
Wow, that's so savage. How do people pull these shots off? I never understand. I
could try it 1,000 times and I might hit it once.
Right? But they seem to hit it almost every time somehow. It's magical, really. But that opening pick is huge. And then maybe that buys Espada a further lifeline here in this first half. Peku pixels away from that tag. Maybe it was a little misleading, actually, because the X-ray is misleading us here a little bit. But
Yeah, I really thought that was going to be attack. I was so confused. This time maybe. No, he's just not getting it. It's just not happening. Unlucky there, Peku. Oh, but he gets the leg. Trades it out, though. 20 for 20. They have to concede that control. Move towards the A bomb site, and they've seen him back into CT. They know that B is going to be much more wide open for them, and here they go. Durkep's the only player to defend here, but he's got the AWP. They've spotted him up close. He has to back off. Drops the smoke. 50 seconds. Time is ticking away.
They've done a great job flushing the map. This is a single defender here. It's Durkep to try to defend against this full hit, this full upper B attack coming with 5 players for ESPADA. And I'm a little surprised to see that KOVA isn't really moving on the map. They're just happy in their AAA setup here. Durkep will soon be surprised. He's probably going to be shook more than surprised. There, the Molotov is coming out. He finds the opening frag. Not quite good for the second. That's a full B bomb site. That's an instant save for KOVA. And that is ESPADA finding the 3rd on the board. Okay. Some combat. It's weird how like these rounds are going from convincing one way to convincing in the other.
That one very much pivots around the duel that went down with the operators. With Peku being hit to 24 and backing into CT, like we said, they knew B was going to be weaker. And then Peku, who was the player in position to rotate, was very worried about re-peeking those angles. He doesn't want to give away that advantage. And because of that, poor old Durkeps is alone, sat on the B bomb site, just waiting for death to come and knock on the door. And it knocked on the door and broke down the hinges. And now KOVA, though, it's not the most upsetting rounds. It's not like we saw on the previous map or in different games where there were huge mistakes being made. So far, this does look like a different team. They lost that round, but I'm not going to say they're set back into their old ways just yet. This time, just the single AWP to come through. That's going to be on Peku, so again, presumably used towards long. That's where it's been so far.
Mitch, is there an
MI6
position that's better than the 007? His name is Bond. James Sothick Bond. Upgraded to the position higher than that.
I don't know. 001 is better, right?
Is it? Does it go if it downwards is better than upwards?
I think so. But we never meet any of the other 00s. I don't think. As far as M. I mean, M is technically the highest, right? She's the leader.
Ah, so we go down the numbers into the letters. I see.
There you go. And it just stops at M for some reason. Does it go from Z to M or from A to M? That's the question.
That's a fair question.
We don't know.
Now they're switching it up though. Now they're going for the full execute. The smokes are there. The Molotovs are there as well. Oh, look at this. That's a nice little flurry of Molotovs. The flashes are kind of effective, but Becky still finds one. Good enough. Oh, he manages a second off that. He
couldn't see him. There's no way he could see a thing. He just realized he heard himself get hit, and he's like, I'm dead. I'm just going to shoot. And gets a kill. Really nicely handled. Suffolk down below. He's going to look for it. And there we go. 2 kills. Infinitely better than he was the round before. As we look at the this is 2. Nice shot. Dexter recovers long control. Now Patsy can actually back to the bomb site. Dexter needs to get out and sit down in pit. He's there, but he's smoked off. He's not going to be able to help Patsy. He's all alone. Nice shots. He finds one. Just waits for Dexter to come around up behind. The smoke's still blocking his vision. Yatola looking for the defuse. He puts the smoke down. Molly as well, and this should be the round. Surely there's the defuse alongside the flashbang. He has to get up there. 1 second left, and he misses the jump.
If he didn't miss that jump, he had that round, but he misses the jump. Sir, you got to get back in that KZ server. That was a big drop-off right there. Under pressure, though. I can't blame him. That was super well played there for KOVA. Just recognizing the weakness in that 1v1. A nice attempt there for ESPADA to reclaim the lead after the double kill from Peku, but overall, it still ends favorably for KOVA, and they extend their lead further. For the CIS side, they still have something. They are able to fight back, and this time it's going to be the long A clash. Let's see this coin toss. Dude, that triple molly execto, what the heck? That was so sick. That looks beautiful.
Massive commendation to Peku for being able to find so much room to play around that, though. Like, the second kill, okay, he was lined up properly. He just kind of got lucky with the shot, but the first one, to be able to find the drop down into CT, that was invaluable. That op duel's going to go down now. You're looking at the bomb site. Peku spotted the head, but he couldn't get the shot off in time. Twixie, oh, he's got the timing perfectly. That couldn't have been any better. He's coming up behind them now. They just need to slow them down, use up the util that they've got up towards the bomb site, and allow that flank to come through in glorious fashion.
Yeah, there's no way this ends favorably for ESPADA, right? I mean, they know they're there. They have triple players holding for it. They have a player on the flank. That's going to be an important one. Actually, Zophic is ready for it. Patsy's good for one and a second on the site. And suddenly, what it was supposed to be an incredibly well-read hold from KOVA is somehow an advantage for ESPADA. The 4 versus 2. The boost is coming up. That will eliminate the bomb planter, but they still have 3 players to worry about. And that's the first one. It'll be Finnegan with the second one following through. And ESPADA claimed the 4th. And how did that end so poorly for KOVA? They knew what was going on in that round from the get-go.
I mean, so ESPADA did well watching the flank with 1 player. Outside of that, though, if there's no way. You a 3-man stack towards the A-bomb site. That should just be desolation, but they isolate every single duel. Patsy went huge, shutting them down. Here comes the aggression in tunnels. Dexter actually misses that shot. And the player makes it up on top. Piatola hoping to catch a few with the CZ. It is called CZ Go, but I don't think he's going to be getting all too much. They're wary that that was a pistol that they spotted a second ago. They don't want to get too aggressive. He's shoulder tagged. Looking to walk away from that. And KOVA, so whatever they do here is a gamble. ESPADA are making presence across the map. You know there's an AWP in tunnels. They're hearing noise on short. There's a player pushed up on long. Someone has to get aggressive eventually. And for now, they're going to allow it to be ESPADA and try to catch them off as they push on through. But as 2 players have backed down into CT, this isn't the worst angle for Peku, to be honest. Like, he's head peeking up against a head as well. And he's got the deagle in hand, so he wants to find that one-shot headshot.
Okay, so far not bad. Hey, you're kind of right. I don't think KOVA has a single clue what's happening here. They don't know if it's actually ending short A, if this is just a player drawing attention away from the upper B explode that they did last time. No, I think with these smokes and the flashes, I think now they're realizing that this is likely ending into this short A commit. The peak, a little too many targets in sight for him to handle. And this is what we're hoping for from ESPADA, right? The proper spacing on the short A attacks, not giving room for multi-frags or even opportunity for one person to fight back. And Dexter holding down the flank, or holding down the rotate, I should say. Should be easy peasy.
You would think so. Uli moving up behind. He didn't spot anyone in mid, so now the call is going to probably be there that it should be B. Anyone outside of there will be destroyed, but ESPADA are just sitting firmly in towards middle. Like, Dexter hasn't pushed out too far to try and find any exits. He bails back, which I like. You don't want to be dying to just a random-ass pistol pushing mid and getting torn apart. And save it in towards the pit. Nobody should push long doors at this point. Again, you know you're up against those pistols. At the same time, I like it from KOVA to save over those weapons. The fact that they move through to B, they don't get over-aggressive in middle. They survive with 4. Yeah, you would have liked to see them do some damage, but here's where they get another chance. I mean, think about it. Where do they have a better opportunity? If they start pushing into players that are holding for them to get aggressive, or when they can now, again, gamble on a bomb site or on a part of the map where ESPADA are likely to push into. Look at Long. 3 players stacked up on the corner. ESPADA think, well, we've got the control here for Oh, no, the spams are so good! KOVA's plan just gets torn apart.
Yeah.
Spams through the smoke.
As soon as you get that player in pit, right, it becomes so much harder to fight back. You have the headshot angle, you have the crossfire established. Yeah, as soon as that player gets in there, that's pretty much GG for that round. 7-6 though. ESPADA, they are fighting back on this T side, and there's actually still opportunity for them to take a lead right at the end. So I mean, this map is kind of weird when it comes to sidedness, right? It's almost impossible to predict if it'll be T-sided or T-sided. Approaching it a bit awkward there between Patsy and Twixie, and it is a 1-for-1 trade, which I think ESPADA is more than happy with.
They've got the mid control to play off of and 2 players isolated on each bomb site. Gotta feel pretty happy about that one. Moving through short for the moment, 3 players there. Late on, it's going to be Dexter looking for the long doors cross, and he might just get the opportunity now. Uli's sat down, but he's crossed over towards the left side. I don't know if that was spotted by Dexter. He's inching forward. Sending the op alone through long is not a play I'm a big fan of. He's heard scoping in. They know that he's here. And shut down. Uli now has an op to pick up.
in long game control, which is most important of all. The flashbangs are there. Down below. Still on site. A 1-for-1 trade, but now Uli's gotten that up that you were talking about. He's just picking them apart. Finnegan with 4 HP. Probably not going to have much chances here, especially with the double flank coming in. I'm not liking his odds. I think he's just planning and getting out, honestly. Wait a
It's the
second.
best goal.
Oh, they do have a smoke. Okay, they can still defend against that. Oh, yeah.
Big brain, but unfortunately, KOVA have got the big brains as well. They're going to probably drop down to try and hunt him. But they've got no money, so it is a bit of a double-edged sword. Do they want to go for it, but potentially get cut themselves? And no, they don't. Finnegan saves over the creek. Now, you might be thinking, why the hell do you do that? There's plenty of money. That's a great question, because we are coming into the last round. And as you can see, losing that Krieg would have done absolutely nothing. The only issue, I guess, is that maybe he would have given them a Krieg. But I wouldn't be that worried about it.
Yeah, I would like to see him contest that, but I can definitely understand both positions. It's just a really terrible situation to be in with 4 HP. But either way, long gate control belonging to SEMIFINAL really early on. I think this is a push from long, and then KOVA kind of has no choice but to shove back onto short A, retake it, reestablish themselves, at least deny the split potential on the A site. And again, they still have that lurk, right? SD by this time. But he's actually going to give it up. He's going to regroup, which suggesting to us that this is likely going to end into the long A commitment here.
I don't think they have much choice now but to commit towards A, and especially long. All 5 players are here. They've given up all of their map control. KOVA could be in a little bit of trouble because they've taken short, sure, but they've only got one player on the bomb side, Peku, who's actually posted quite aggressively. 50 seconds left, and here come the smokes and the utility about to be thrown out. Peku backs off. He's going to play a more passive angle. Molly down on the ramp to stop them closing the distance. They're already here. One shot found. Finnegan's there as well, but he's taking them down with the wall bang. And a man advantage now for KOVA with the bomb being planted, and KOVA can't really contest this right now because their players are still caught behind. They've got to wait until everybody regroups. No, actually the opportunity is given to Twixie.
Whew, what a shot. But comes in, not quite where he wants it to be. There still is the contingency plan though, and Finnegan, who's playing Goose patiently as ever, waiting for the right time to strike off the chaos, and off the chaos he works out perfectly. It's down to Pytola now, the 1 versus 2, the crossfire established, and long Dexter and Finnegan closing it out. And ESPADA, they keep this one tight. 8-7, a pretty common finish for Dust 2. And I'm a little bit more inspired by KOVA now, I feel. Like, they've shown signs of life. Yeah, they kind of dropped off towards the end of that half, but overall, they've shown more life in this half than they did throughout the entire first map. Let's see what they got here on this T side. Now it's ESPADA to defend on their map pick.
Now, who picks who picks Dust 2 and who plays on the CD side are not things that I'm too concerned about, but who wins out the pistol round could definitely be a concerning factor. Softpick opens it up, gets himself a kill early on in this half, not waiting as long as he did in the previous. As it goes into a 4 versus 4. Full push coming through tunnels, and Twixie spotted that. He knows there's at least 2 here, but I mean, only a madman would suspect 4. What is this from ESPADA? They're going to come straight through. Look at this. KOVA push out. Oh no! Okay, they're back in. They're back in to hold off tunnels, and look at the damage being done. They're running through a choke point. Kills being found at the moment. My God, 1 HP, 40 HP, but they hit heads, and that's all that matters.
What an unusual round, but I love that retake though from ESPADA, right? Strength by numbers. They know there's not any utility to defend against that. And oh my lord,
I've never seen it before.
Yeah,
I've never seen a team
first.
go. Let's go 4 tunnels.
That's crazy talk. I just don't think they want to get stuck in the choke points, right? They just want to like just screw it. Let's just abandon the smoke here in mid doors, or the B doors rather, and let's just go around. It works perfectly actually. But KOVA do buy up off this. The double SGs, the scout come out, the double deagle hand cannon, or blast cannons, I should say. And ESPADA looking to fight back. Early utility being used towards long A. Smoke and Molotov clear open, and long A is established. So control denied for KOVA. Now KOVA needs to make a decision. Do we go mid to be off this, knowing there's 3 players committed long? Or do we slow down and allow ESPADA to reset their numbers and then figure out a different plan?
ESPADA, with the aggressive position they have on long, are really happy to just play passive right now. Now you can see Dexter's just going to be spotting it, trying to bait anybody in, now eventually backing off, but leaving Sotfik tucked in on the corner of doors. The smokes go down, and it's going to be across into B with a split on middle. Look at the position for Patsy, though. He should be able to catch them off if they don't check that angle. Dirk was watching it, but Patsy's far enough back that he can't be spotted. He just saw it. Oh, he didn't notice that he saw him up close, and that's a free kill for Dirk. Now they close in on the bomb side. Finnegan has to be worried about the window. He turns around, but he's shot from the tunnels. And with the M4 picked up, and the bomb side as well, this is going to be an easy 3 versus 2. They're forcing the fight, but Dexter's been lit to 26, and that should really prompt a save once Sotfik can find a weapon.
That's such an unfortunate call from them, too, because there's a chance they could have retaken this, considering there's no utility for KOVA, but of course, B site. Not the most confident sites to retake, I feel. And KOVA, they steal a round away from ESPADA, put them on a double eco. This is actually, in my opinion, even better than winning the pistol round, Mitch. As long as they can convert this next one.
No, definitely. If you're winning the second round, it is more valuable. The old system, and at this point, it's a very old system, because if you win the pistol, you more than likely get 3-0. But now, as long as you lose that pistol and win the second, you're in a better spot than if you won the pistol. It's very odd. I guess you don't get punished for winning the round, but you get punished for not winning consistent rounds. And especially if you're on the T side, it's specific to the T side. If you get a bomb plant and lose the pistol, that is amazing. Like, you get so much money. You have a better buy than your opponents do. It's like a sacrifice.
Yeah, they're kept KOVA. They're showing a default. A default that's pretty methodical. They're clearing short 8 with the boost in the lower. They're peering into long game, making sure no one's crossing doors, making sure no one's pushing on them. They have the player holding upper B push as well, so all their bases are definitely covered, and they're using that opportunity while their bases are covered to gain ground. Okay.
Patsy's hearing the players around middle. As the smoke goes down, he'll swing wide on it. On top of the boxes now. Flashes did go in, but nobody pushing on the back of them. As time ticks on, it's going to be a long take. This gives Dexter the opportunity. You can see his sight line there with the scout. He's ready to catch a couple as they come through. No pit control for the T's just yet, and the CTs know that.
That's one tag. He was in this position on Terror side last time this was happening. You got to respect Dexter with the scout. You can't give him these fights, but they're just going to triple post on him. You want to repeat? That's fine. We got 3 men. 3 against 1. Player coming in from down below. Not quite able to get what he wanted to accomplish, and Dima is there for the trade, but I think the damage here is dealt in. Unless these players have enough. So now that flash any chance it had, and there it is. Clean round from KOVA. They do fight back. They do officially break the economy for ESPADA, and now this is a potential 11th on the board, so maybe we are seeing a map reversal here. So far, so good. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Finnish side at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. Big turnaround on what we saw earlier on. Like, the fact that we're able to sit back and now comfortably avoid. Just look at how we were talking about the previous map. We had to consistently say, what are they doing? Why is that? What are they doing here? This doesn't make sense. Now, everything's fine. They're clicking together much better than before. We're seeing them. Look at how they dealt with the scout last round on long. They swing out. 3-man peek him as soon as they realize he's there. That's how you need a handler, not send individuals out to take those fights. ESPADA definitely facing tougher opponents, but yet to get a full buyout on the CT side. Haven't seen their AWPing prowess. For now, this round has been scrappy. It's just the weak pistols, so nothing too interesting or amazing happening, but Finnegan has managed to recover a Krieg off of Dirkep's body. They've mollied him off and flashed him too, and this leaves him to save on short, as the B-bomb site will soon be planted on. Now look at KOVA's economy. They have lost 1 weapon on the player that cannot afford to buy in the next round, but other than that, they're feeling pretty good, so they can go and hunt. That's why Kutola is pushing forward. Oh, he spotted Finnegan, but somehow Finnegan wins that fight! Get out of here! How does he win the second, though? now they can't afford to hunt him. He has saved this weapon, unless they make a huge miscalculation and start pushing forward with Twixie. I really don't want them to, and it looks like he is indeed just making sure Finnegan's not getting any ideas of ace clutching it.
Wow, that hold is huge for Finnegan. That actually is going to serve them really, really well in this next round. And I think KOVA is realizing, like, they're going to be buying anyway. Like, whether we take this gun away or not, it's only going to help them if we lose numbers here. So they're just going to concede that one. That's an M4 that he could drop over to one of his teammates, and that could, it's an extra fully equipped player that could be on the board. But you're absolutely right. Besides the casualties that they took, KOVA is still in a good spot. Not as good as if they would have had all 4 players alive, to be honest, but it's still not a bad spot. Twixie at 6,400, Peku at 5,100, and then, of course, Uli is still within the buy territory as long as the bomb does get planted. But things are, well, KOVA's not going aggressive early on, using that smoke to bait utility from the B defenders, just fleshed out whatever they have in their hands. Oh no, Peku. Oh, no. Okay, oh wait, what is happening here? This is kind of a chaotic round. KOVA's pushing and shoving in mid. They also have a player coming at short A. Now Finnegan is fighting in along with Dima out in the middle.
This is a Dust 2 round if ever I've seen it.
Serious.
We're just seeing madness across the board. Now, there's no way they should expect Dima to be here as well, but actually they must have spotted him or heard him. As he swings out to try and take the fight onto the A bomb site. Players are coming up through short. Uli goes on top and spots his feet. Another round picked up for KOVA. 12-8. ESPADA with the timeout, and no better time for it other than coming into their next buy round, because this shouldn't be one. Should be a very weak buy for them. And yeah, KOVA have definitely upped their performance from what we would have really pinned on them from the previous maps play. That this is a completely different team. And I'm so shocked to see it from Mirage to Dust 2. This much variance. I guess being smacked out of that previous map just really woke them up.
Hey, there are 2 kind of beasts in this world, Mitch. People who are, when their back's up against the wall, they fight back with full force, and there are some who just give up, and I don't think KOVA is the one to give up. But I'm also surprised. I thought this Dust 2 was going to be a sweep for ESPADA for sure. It is, on paper and in reality, their best map. Now, the loss bonus is maxed out here for ESPADA. Likely be around conceded. Well, not quite fully conceded, but they will have pistols and armor, so chances are still in favor of KOVA in this one. The smoke here for Sophic will at least create a little bit of doubt into their positions.
KOVA taking a page from the strap look of ESPADA. They're sending one mid, one A long, and then the rest come down through tunnels. We're going to see a split onto the A bomb side. At least it's the intention for now. But ESPADA have made the gamble there. KOVA, that could be a little bit dangerous. Twixie's decided to just warm himself up a little bit. Usually you warm up on an AIM server. He's done it inside a Molotov. Down to 68 HP. That could certainly make it easier for the pistols to chip away at his health. Oh, they're going to push short. That's very dangerous. Dima finds one. Down comes the mid push for more. AK retrieved. Dima turning. The reload has to come through, though, and Peku's able to take him down in the meantime into a 2 versus 3 with short control. Oops, see daisies.
You were saying? 3
Sophic just died in front of Dexter. It's a traumatic experience.
Yeah, he instantly says, nope, turns around, 180s, gets out of there. Love it. These rounds are getting really messy, aren't they? I mean, this was no armor. I don't think a single person on ESPADA had any armor in that round. Now it's just Dexter with a deagle rotating around long A, maybe looking for one of these weapons out here in middle. But it is being held down by Uli, who's a 5-head, I must admit. Big brain.
Bomb has been planted.
And why does my Twitch app keep crashing? What the heck's going on here?
I have it for Twitch chat. Sometimes. Oh, hello, Dexter. Spams onto Uli. He's out of there now. He's got a Krieg. I mean, he definitely could, but saving his oh, no, he's going for it. I thought he was going to save the Krieg, but no, he doesn't care. He doesn't rate the weapon.
Nah, I'm just genuinely just laughing at the fact that he had an SG, but he chose to use the deagle instead.
That too. Yeah, he really doesn't rate the weapon. He just use the Neeg all day long. I mean, he just destroyed Uli with it, I guess, but bit ambitious. Look at that long control. Eku, there's no way you expect that play. He's just scope walked out, but the trade. Sophic manages to take him down. Alalne, as he's known in Steam for some reason.
Elaine?
Is it Elaine? Look, it looks like an L. I don't know.
That was probably the
name I've ever
worst
seen.
attempt I have ever seen, Mitch.
I'm pretty sure it's an L. Like ALLALNE? No? Is that still Elaine? I don't know. I'm Irish, okay? I'm not good with weird names. Unless they're Irish.
I feel that. Sometimes the EU players, they just like to mess with us, man. They just have these crazy names. Guys, we speak English. We can't say these pronunciations.
I mean, then you get the NA ones. It's just anime pictures everywhere.
Exactly. Pros and cons, you know? But here we go. I think ESPADA is KOVA is realizing that there are players that reinforce the B site, so this is likely an opportunity to attack A, but they didn't realize that this was a stack from the get-go. This is actually pretty much a trap here for ESPADA. They have 3 defenders here, the strongest part of the map for them. Emo will find one, a second one as well. He's done the damage. He's made this so much more comfortable now for Dexter, and easy pickings for him from the opposition, from the corner, and it's all on Twixy now. No bomb, and time is running out.
So are the players for the T side as Twixy gets up to death. It's 13-9. ESPADA still have a long road to go to come back into this, but CT side, they've got their double op setup. This is certainly where things looked good for KOVA. And speaking of KOVA, there's the timeout coming through. They want to take a minute to gather themselves as they are about to dig deep into the depths of their economy. They want to get an AWP out. Peku can buy it, and Twixy can drop over. So you will still have a full buy, but I don't think it's about what they're buying. It's about where they're going with those weapons, with their valuable produce. Because if they don't win this round, it's more than likely going to be that eco. Then ESPADA really build up a comfortable spot to play from, as you would then see it on 13-11 more than likely.
Yeah, and that's kind of the big takeaway, right? This is kind of a comfort space right now for ESPADA. Yes, they're 4 rounds down, but with their loss bonus sitting at 2,900 still, as long as they don't lose all their weapons on these losses, they can at least sustain buys, right? Keep the pressure up. And if they get a double eco, they're back into this game. But I think the most important thing here for ESPADA is not only rounds, but they really do need that safety net, because once their win streak starts to accumulate, their loss bonus disappears and that safety net is gone. So if they get double reset with KOVA at 13, that's not good news. That's a really bad place to be in if you're the CIS side. So
the real issue for me actually is that I'm looking at the last half. 5 out of 7 of the last rounds were won by ESPADA. When those full buys come out, when they get their op setups rolling and start to get a read on KOVA, that's where ESPADA really start to dominate. I did say ESPADA won 5 out of 7, right? Not KOVA?
Yep.
All right. I got confused in my own head for a second.
No, I got you. I'm following what you're picking up.
So the thing for ESPADA, or for KOVA now, that was a really well-used tactical timeout, because from this point forward, this is where ESPADA start to pick up the majority of the rounds. KOVA have had the early half success. They need to now follow through with it on the late half.
This is all great in theory, but I do want to see that put into action. And I did say that Peku needed to step up in this map, and he actually has stepped up. Not quite, dropping the 180 or anything fancy or flashy, but he is being impactful, and he is securing the kills that he needs to secure. Right now, it's a tag coming out. Twixy has been brought down to a pretty fatal amount of health points. That's a good start, but that kill from Peku eliminates Dexter. That's the mid player. That's kind of the pivot point for the B defender. Now it's just 2 players to try to hold back against this split that's inevitably coming through. Finnegan gets eliminated. That puts Dima in a terrible spot now, and he has been spotted. That's the B site. That's the 2 weapons that need to be saved, and unfortunately, neither of them are the ops that they're hoping for, and KOVA, they continue to stunt.
It's an odd situation, but KOVA have just dominated. The pause evidently working out. Oh, very nice shot by Suffolk, but no kill, no reward. He didn't have the AK. Follow through in the one-shot headshots. Now saving over 2 weapons. ESPADA get a buy on Dexter. Finnegan can muster one. Alongside Patsy, probably. He could even drop Dima over, I think, with the loss bonus they've got.
Hey, Mitch, I also didn't really like Finnegan's play that round. Not sure if you caught that, but you were getting pushed. You know, they're getting spit on. This player goes on mid. Finnegan actually abandoned Dima in sight and just pushed out into middle. Took the 1v1, and he actually lost it. And the Dima was put in such a terrible spot where now he's getting flooded by 4 players above. I don't know if that's a sign of like pressure, or maybe the comms are chaotic. Maybe he misread something that maybe someone was trying to communicate. But that wasn't the right play at the right time.
No, I'd agree. I think probably the issue there is you're trying to recover. Like, the previous map went so well for you, so you're thinking, okay, what's different right now? Maybe it's confidence. Let's try to make that confident play. Push out, lose the 1v1. Now where do you go? It ain't confidence. You're not winning those aim duels. Giving the AWP a lot more space than before. Maybe it's setups. Look at this from Dexter. He's up on short. He's got support close. Dexter trying to take the opening peek. Waiting for a flash to come through here. Patsy, you can see he wants to peek this. His feet are edging forward, shot around, and Patsy finds that frag. Not even a trade. As a man advantage goes the way of the CT side, but they lose the bomb site. Smokes on the cross mean Dexter can't get a whole lot done. Oh, they've only got 1 smoke for the cross. I thought they had another one coming, but there were no smokes left. Look at that. It was a firing squad. 3 players looking at just one giant gap.
Not only that, but your single smoke that you had was way too close to the wall to allow you any sort of opportunity to cross safely. And ESPADA keep 5 alive in that round. That's terrifying. And KOVA, they're at the end of their economic lifeline, right? This is it, their final investment. It will be limited if they so choose the op. And even if they go AKs, I don't think they'll be quite full, at least on a few players. But again, Dust2, not really... It's not quite the Inferno, right? You don't need all the utility to make things work here. You can get away with just 2 smokes, a few flashes, and a couple mollies. The lack of op will definitely hurt here a little for KOVA. But ESPADA, they're really only this gun round away and a potential second gun round from the tie, right? From the 14-14. So by no means has KOVA earned the right to relax.
Not at all. This is the time to pay attention, to be more on the edge of your seat than ever before. With this investment, KOVA face an eco should they lose, and ESPADA know that. For KOVA, it's going to be 100% focused with the pause coming to an end. We'll see what strategy they've devised. Previously, they dominated the round, surviving with all 5 players. Right after the pause, we'll see if that comes through yet again.
So once again, KOVA continues to apply pressure upper B, right? Baits that utility out there, either hands, try to wear them down thinly. Tries to pull that rotate over towards the B site, but they're actually going fast into this ace play. But that should be heard by that long A player, and that's going to be really important for him to hold that one down. Counter utility attempted here, not quite able to escape the hands of Dexter. He's now over with op shots, but now he's getting overwhelmed. Mitch, what's happening here? Where's his support?
Dexter got caught with the utility. He wasn't really sure where to throw it. Eventually he gets them out of his hand, but the problem is he's missed all of the shots. 4, and the 5th as well. Azuli shuts him down. This is just a disaster of a round from ESPADA. So much pressure was on those A players, and they can't get a damn thing done for it. Finnegan pushes forward, hasn't spotted the player up top left, is short, and as he does, it costs him his life. Uli with a huge round, and 4 kills so far. Patsy's got 2 low HP players. He's wrapping through mid. He might catch an angle even onto Uli as he comes down short. He's seen him. He saw the gun barrel. His teammates called it for him. Or he's noticed he can actually get in here and get a defuse. All he has to do is find the kill on Vitola. They had no idea he was in Gandalf.
Man, literally 1 bullet there from Patsy and he wins the round. I think he knew that the player was wounded, but unfortunately that weapon, it could have been pretty well served in this round. Fortunately, they still have some money left over. The op will be dropped over at least to Dexter. He'll have that. Overall, mostly rifles with good amount of utility and 1 kit for Patsy. So they do have chances to fight back. And this is the final buy here for KOVA. No bomb plan is a double reset, actually. So, ESPADA at the end of their lifeline, yes, but there is still hope. This could still be recovered. Bringing it into OT. 5 attempts. Let's see if they can make it count here. KOVA, 5 chances to close this off and bring us into the 3rd map.
Not many people throw away those 5 chances. As KOVA move down towards middle, it looks like it's going to be a B split. Still haven't smoked off CT, and you see Sophic actually back off. Now moving up closer, but he's about to be smoked out of there. Dima has a flash. He could lob this down mid and have a double peek on lower. But they decide it's not needed. No steps, nobody spotted coming towards B from mid. KOVA really slowing it down. Maybe trying to sell that it was a fake on the mid to B split. Making a little bit of noise on A, and here they come. Dima's still ready, though, and he catches one. They will never expect the player to be close. Trigger discipline was not really there. He allows one, but he's trying to save Dima's life, and it looks like this round is already shut down. Twixie's got to do it all. Great shot on Dima. Molly for the doors. It's only the window he's got to worry about now, but he hasn't got the bomb, so he cannot get that planted. Can't even fake it out. Flash goes over as he goes to retrieve it. He's spotted by Dexter on the cross, and it's 15-11. The fidget spinner being shown off there in the end.
That is the saving grace of that knife, I will admit. It has a cool inspect animation. 15-11. It is the probably just gonna be a force buy here for KOVA, honestly. Like their money is destroyed. Baitola's down to double eco, so is Peku. You might as well just buy it. I think they're not realizing it. Like, yeah, just follow through. We might as well all in. I think Twixie will just save for the op, and Slotfic looking for the easy peasy cash money, baby. Okay, maybe not easy.
Maybe not so easy. Yeah, exactly. Great minds think alike. But that was rough. Nice deep nade goes through. Decent damage done. M4 from afar. Dima saves the round. But that's not the round that we're worried about. Here we go with the full buy. Oh, well, yeah, actually, sorry. They've got much weaker money than I thought they did. I didn't even check. So 15-13. That means just one full buy then between KOVA and an overtime.
Right? A full buy and then a force buy. So if the bomb gets planted, yes, they might be able to buy in the final round. But man, I'm telling you, this is what I was saying. It's closer than it might appear. ESPADA, they really only have to deal with that next full gun round, right? That'll be the only round where there's SGs, AKs, the ops, and full utility. After that, it's a lot more favorable. And they're doing well, right? Like, they're not doing terrible. They're just losing some weird mid to B splits. And of course, the short A hits haven't really been responded to very, very well. They might actually work again. He's being hunted down. Luckily, he has support this time. Everyone is here this time. Patsu, Dexter, Slotfic, they're all here. The whole gang.
Literally anything but a Glock there, and that player on short died. But it was all Glocks. One P250 didn't have an angle. And 15-13. Okay, we'll wipe that round from the history. Now it's all up to KOVA on a full buy. They've got themselves 4 rifles, 3 of which are Kriegs, and of course an AWP. I don't know why none of us consider an AWP a rifle. We'd say like they've got rifles. Generally, you mean the automatic ones. Technically, it is a sniper rifle.
Oh, that's getting a little too hot for his comfort. That actually weakens his confidence, right? Like now that you have under half your health, you're not really going to take the same battles that you would otherwise. Oh, Wooly, you're really risking that one.
It's hit by the nade, but the molly.
Go.
Going near.
I love that. ESPADA, they're starting to combo their nades. They've gotten Peku down to 47. They've gone Uli down to 70. That's already over 80 damage done, Mitch. Quick maths.
Quick math.
Oh, they're getting Twixie down to CT. Oh. Oh, he still doesn't put it. And he almost falls up on Uli as well.
Really disappointing, but hold on. Dima's managed to pull back one. The spray down was atrocious. Now Dima's being spotted. He tries to extend further back, but he's not able to catch them off guard. Not as well as he needed to. Smoke on the doors comes through from Dexter. He wants to get aggressive on that, maybe. No, get himself a nade through.
Just help him with that.
Yeah, I think he's just setting himself up for the nade. There we go. Gets it onto Durkups. I mean, smoking the cross to land a nade through, it's a weird decision-making process, but I guess it works in this case. With the combination of the kill that came down in tunnels, Durkups is all alone. They've gotten that bomb plant that they needed to get a buyout in the next, or at least a decent one. They're not going to get the round as ESPADA put 14 on the board.
Yeah, and really solid reposition there from that upper player, right? Just getting that first kill, immediately falling back. And his presence there, it just causes so much paranoia in that 1v2. And that is really, really well played. But the bomb plant here for KOVA, that might be their saving grace here in the final round. ESPADA, this is it. This is everything that they've been fighting for. One final round for overtime. They have everything that they need, Mitch. Full rifles. They have an SG. Let's see, where's your weapon? There it is, okay. I was going to say, not again. This is surely not. But okay, no, we're good. AK-47s, though. They're available. The Galil, the full utility, and KOVA. They're going for the Hail Mary. Let's see if it works out.
Durkups went through the molly, lost a lot of his health. The spray, Finnegan makes it out alive. With a Molotov towards the back, he's going to go up and peek this. Flash going through. This is... Oh, no, he's not. He fakes it. pretends he's going to go peek, but then plays very slow. I like the play. Bomb goes down. It's a 4 versus 3. And we know ESPADA. Everybody, let's just retake through the tunnels. They're leaving one outside this time, just in case KOVA try to get a little bit froggy. And ESPADA, as soon as that smoke fades, the retake will be underway.
Oh, man, if he just starts tapping, he just kills them all right there. That's so crazy. The Molotov's coming out. That's going to make Uli very uncomfortable back here, but he still has some places to stand. And that's it. There's no utility left for KOVA, but he's in the best position possible to defend against this. That is a disaster. And Uli, he holds it down. That quad set up towards upper B, that only works against pistols, but when you're fighting the SGs, Mitch, it's not quite as effective. And ESPADA, they have the fake comeback, the 16-14 win for KOVA, and we will see the final map here in this series, in this best of 3, which I wasn't updated before, but I think it is
Overpass, I think.
Let me double check that. And yes, it is Overpass. You're correct. Yeah. That is going to be an interesting map here between these two teams to finish roster, holding it down on each other's map picks. What a battle it has been. Before we go on break here, before we go into this third map, please follow this man on Twitter. His @'s down below. He's an amazing caster and good looking as well. So that's double whammy. Follow me as well. Not as good looking. And of course, follow Melanie, our producer and observer. Melanie, she does a great job behind the scenes. And if you're in the market for some skins, just know that we will be doing some of these agent skins, weapon skins as well at the end of this broadcast, right after this next map. So stay tuned for that. We will be doing some awesome giveaways for you. Free to enter, of course. For now, we will be back. Enjoy the music, and Overpass is coming up next.